What is up? Today we are going to look at my 25 favorite games. You can see the website at the top of the thing. It's topsters.org. You'd be surprised by how hard it is to make a top 25 list. I actually want to make one for 26 games because I want to put Fire and Leaf Green on you, but I can't fit it. And I know there was another game as well, but I can't remember what it was. Oh yeah, South Park Stick of Truth slash Fractured. I'm still struggling to figure out which one of the two I prefer, so yeah. This won't be a super long video. I always say that, but I really mean it this time. Well, my intentions are good, but we'll see what happens. So, it's more about, the games that are most important to you, most influential. Like you could have some games on here for yourself that are genuinely not even very good, but you just you have that nostalgia factor, or it got you through some tough times when you were younger, something like that. Um and I have gameplay of some of the games, but not all of them, because why do I need to show you gameplay of Super Mario Odyssey? I only got 3 games or 4 games, so that you for the more obscure ones, but these are the most important games to me. Also, most people do a no multiple entries in a series rule. So for example, I have Pokemon Pinball, and that'd be fine. I have Pokemon Black 2, and that'd be fine. But then I also have Pokemon Emerald. That wouldn't be fine. However, I didn't actually have that many games growing up. So, also, I want to give a brief shout out to certain games like Digimon Racing on GBA and Digimon Fighting or whatever it was on GBA. That game was pretty cool. And some other games that were good once upon a time, like Overwatch. I've had some fun with TF2. Galaxy 2 I haven't played enough of, so that's why it's not here. In case you're looking at 3D All-Stars and thinking, what the fuck is wrong with you, it's literally just full Galaxy. I also like Cosmic Shake, So, yeah, I mean, I guess let's just, Also, I like Sonic Mania, too, but I really like Sonic Mania. I only play half of it, though. I really need to play more. Alright, let's get into it. Plants vs. Zombies. Why is Plants vs. Zombies Funny Among Us, among the top 25? I mean, that game was, so influential. There are still people, there's loads of videos being uploaded of PvZ content on YouTube today, and there's so many mods as well. There's loads of mods, loads of things on YouTube, like meme accounts that post PvZ stuff. Everybody knows PvZ and respects the fuck out of it. Of course, it's aged not amazing. It's not in widescreen, and it looks bad on PC, and it's pretty low resolution. But then that's what the console version's for. But then the console version has some problems. Game is really repetitive, really repetitive. You unlock mini games too late. All the items cost way too much. And even though there's only 20 mini games, and 5 of them are not unique, but you gotta understand, right? That game was so important for its time, and it's only a few dollars on Steam, or you can just pirate it. It's really easy to pirate, but yeah, really important game and extremely influential, and it's 50 something megabytes, so you can easily just keep it perma installed on your PC whenever you play whenever you want. And the community as well is cool, and again, there's lots of mods, there's a lot of replayability. The game, despite being really repetitive, the music is phenomenal, by the way. That's another thing, the music's phenomenal. Yeah, one of the most important games of its time, I would say. Of course, it came out, roughly, not too far away from Minecraft. Speaking of, that's the second game. Minecraft, I feel like it's pretty fair to not only call it a mediocre game, but also call it one of the best games of all time, and one of the most important games of all time. This game, when you were younger, back in the day, back in 2012 or whatever, was so good. It was the best game ever, bro. I genuinely think that there was a point in time where it was the greatest game ever. But nowadays, I haven't been really excited for an update since the Nether update, and I just it's just not the same as it used to be. And there's a lot of reasons for that. You know, part of it's like growing up, but like it's not really a game that you go back to again and 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 again. You go back to it like once every year or two, or if you but if you're playing servers, mods, or like just playing with friends, like it's like one of the best games ever. And then the issue then comes with the single player experience. Minecraft is losing its simplicity charm because of like all the stuff they're adding, even just small little things like the telescope. The telescope has one specific purpose, for example, whereas back in the day, back in beta Minecraft, you'd have like no blocks and you have to use your imagination. You'd have people making like underwater glass houses with just blocks of glass, for example. Like, and there's no reason to have a minecart system anymore because you can just use an elytra. Minecraft's losing its simplicity. And that's the problem. So, but, like, you try to go back to old Minecraft, and it's impossible to, because, like, you can't sprint, there's no enchantments, like, armor is, like, in an old, shitty state, like, there's no ender dragon, so you have nothing to do, and you're so limited that, again, there's just, like, nothing to do, like, and a lot of quality of life things just aren't there, like, fucking new steering mechanics on boats, and things like that, and zombies dropping feathers, and they're not being wither skeletons, or did blazes exist back then? I don't think they did. And it's just like, you know, what is, you know, like, you have to be really creative. You have to really be into the simplicity. And again, like, if you really like the era of Minecraft, then that's fair enough, but you gotta admit part of it's just, like, nostalgia. I mean, come on, bro. And just, like, you know, the vibe of it. Minecraft 360, when it was in its early versions, like, oh my god, that was such a fantastic game. But yeah, like, Minecraft as a whole, like, obviously it's still good, but like, when I said it was mid, it's like, I just don't want to use elytras and stuff, but I don't want to make a minecart system, because why would I make a minecart system when I could use an elytra? Plus, like, there's more of an emphasis on building, and I don't like building. I do want to get into building. I made 2 hardcore worlds in 2021, and they were like, one of the worlds is a survival island world, great size island next to a mushroom biome, next to like an extreme hills biome. Like, that was a couple hundred blocks away. Next to, like, an ocean monument. And the underground, I spent, like, 50 hours in the abandoned mine shaft, at least. And it was still... When I died, I looked through it in spectator mode, and there was a triple spider spawner, cave spider spawner, like, within, like, 20 blocks of each other. That was the best seed I've ever seen in my fucking life that isn't from, like, those Minecraft... Yo, when it comes to pure chance of finding a seed, that was the best I've ever seen in my life. And, like... On the other hardcore world, I made, like, a tree house, and I made, like, a witch farm, and I made a blaze farm, and I almost died, too. I had to use an enchanted golden apple to, like, not fucking die. It was pretty crazy. Anyway, yeah, like, there's not really a lot of, like, things I enjoy building, but I want to make, like, a peaceful world, and then I can, like, have a lore to my world that builds stuff and stuff. You know, I think that'd be pretty cool, but yeah, because I don't do that, like, I'm just not really into it. Like, playing Minecraft multiplayer is fun with friends, but when one of them stops playing, you all stop playing like 2 seconds later. So this game is extremely flawed in that regard. But you can't deny that at one point in time, it was one of the greatest games of all time. So no matter how it goes, even if no one played it tomorrow ever, like from tomorrow onwards, and never played it again, I would still call it one of the best games ever made, just from its impact that it's had. The impact it's had, far greater than PvZ. I mean, fucking hell, dude. Like, think about all the content on YouTube and all the people that blew up on YouTube back in the day because of Minecraft. They used to watch, like, Captain Sparkles, and Venom, you know, like, it's, and a million more. Syndicate, like, it's, oh my god, do you guys remember fucking Syndicate? Do you remember Mionite and Hunting Optic and stuff? Oh my god, I love that shit, bro. Anyway. Yeah, fantastic game, as you can imagine. And extremely influential. Pokemon Black 2, I would just say is the best Pokemon game. It's got by far the most polish. It's extremely polished, it's got tons of quality of life stuff, and it was like the last Pokemon game. Like, I would say the Black and White and Black and White 2 are the hardest main series Pokemon games. And it was the generation before the EXP shit. And, like, I fucking hate the EXP shit thing because it's like, but grinding is not a difficulty, bruv. But it's like, okay, but then why not? Giving players the option to remove the EXP shit from the menu would be an objectively good thing, and if you think otherwise, you are wrong. Because how could it, like, have it on by default and then just give the player the option to turn it off? There is literally nothing wrong with that. Because if they're struggling, then it's their fault for turning it off. There is literally nothing objectively, like, yeah. Anyway, yeah, just the insane polish, amazing, like, music, like, all the animations on all the Pokemon, like, look really fucking good. They're all vibrant as fuck. And there's even different music for, like, being on 1 HP. 2 added onto 1. Like, this is based off a lot of 1's things. But the reason why I'd rank 2 ahead of 1 is because the champion on the first playthrough is, like, a proper actual champion. And 2... so Black and White 1, you can't catch any non-Gen 5 Pokemon until post-game. And sometimes I'm in the mood for that, but sometimes I'm not. And more often than not, I'm in the mood to... Because you get really cool Pokemon early on, like Magnemite and Magby and shit, like, it's, and Riolu, I think, like, it's awesome, dude. And Marill, like... So I'd prefer to play Black and White 2. But both are absolutely amazing. It's unfortunate I sold as few copies as it did, like, just like, bruh. But yeah, like, it just, what else is there to say? Like, great, you know, cool story and stuff, like... Great music, like, it's the best looking Pokemon game by a mile, like, it's just got loads of quality of life, so infinitely reusable TMs, like, hallelujah. Like, yeah, there's, like, almost nothing bad about the game at all. There's, like, some quality of life stuff that Gen 6 onwards, or Gen 7 or whatever, like, introduced, like, some quality of life stuff, like, Thunderwave can't paralyze electric types anymore, I like that. You know, and just, like, probably a bunch of other little things I'm forgetting, but, yeah. Alright, next, Mario Odyssey. I definitely think it's the best 3D Mario game. Now, does it have too many moons? Yes. Like, way too many. But, like, if you just don't do that much post-game stuff, I think the game is excellent. Like, it looks beautiful, man, and, like, you gotta understand, right? When I got the game for Christmas, and the Switch, and I got it for Christmas, and I booted it up, and, you know, like that first kingdom where it's all gray and stuff, I was quite surprised by that. But then, you get sent to this, to the next kingdom, and it's so beautiful and gorgeous, and that was definitely on purpose. It's very... And the music's great and everything, like, it's just, so beautiful, dude. The game, like, almost never drops frames. And the bosses are cool, and all, like, there are a couple worlds I don't really care for, like, the lake one or whatever, but, like, most of them are pretty good. Like, my first playthrough, I just gathered moons, like, whenever I felt like it, and then dipped when I felt like it. Second playthrough, I try to collect as many as I could, reasonably, before moving on to each world. And on the third playthrough, I just grabbed the bare minimum in every world, and I enjoyed it every single time. Every time. Like... Not getting booted out of a level is so great. I do think there's too many moons, though. I think if the game had, like, 500 moons instead, that'd probably be a lot better, but you gotta understand, right? Well, and being able to play as, like, enemies and stuff is so cool. I know it's really limited. Like, I remember Carden said in my chat before, he was like... Oh, like, that you could have done it, you know, they could have let you control even more enemies, and you could have, you know, they're very... like, half-baked, like, the very basic, usually one-note enemies. You know, you only use them for, like, 1 or 2 moons, and yeah, it's true, but, like, just the novelty still is really awesome. And if they made an Odyssey sequel, then obviously I'd expect them to do a lot more, but just for having it in this one game, like, I can't really complain, because it's just so awesome. Also, the movement is by far the best in any Mario game. Like, 64's feels really good if you're a speedrunner, but, like, this is on a different level, man. Diving... Throwing Cappy, and then diving into Cappy, bouncing off of him, and then diving again is, like, the most fun movements in the fucking world. It's my favorite movement technique in, like, any game. It's like the most satisfying shit. The movement, no matter how terrible or great you are at the movement, feels amazing. And that's what I like. I don't like Sunshine's movement because it feels like the only way you can fully enjoy it is, well, not fully, but even just enjoy it, like, partly is if you, like, have a good understanding of the movement. Like, hey, you just don't like FUD because you're bad at it. But it's like, this movement is good no matter if you have 2 seconds in the game and you never played a game in your fucking life. It just feels so good and perfected. Like, the long jump feels a little underwhelming, but that's, like, basically all I can complain about. Although, I will say that, this game forcing, like, shaking the controller and shit is so cringe. It's such a bizarre thing to do. But yeah, it takes advantage of HD Rumble, and, like, all the worlds are beautiful and look really fucking good and sound great, and there's, like, a million things to do in all of them, and you can just stop whenever you feel like it. The bosses suck. Well, the rabbit bosses, I forgot their names, they suck. The final boss is cool. Like, I really like it, and I like the ending cutscene thing for it, too. And the Metro Kingdom is so good, and, it's so good. And you're doing, oh my god, dude. Like, it's just such an adventure, you know? It really feels like you're going and you're exploring parts of the world. Like, I don't know. Like, it makes more sense than because in 64 you just go through a painting and it's like, oh, like, what's a painting connected to? This feels like an actual connected universe because, like, it's on the same planet. 64 could theoretically just be, like, different universes even, but, like, Odyssey's clearly, like, set on the same planet throughout, like, the whole thing. But yeah, it's fantastic, really. What else can I say? Also, there's a ton of fan service, too. Yeah, it's just amazing. And this is like Luigi's Balloon Battle or whatever, if you like that. Yeah, great game. Mario Kart Wii. Absolutely fucking bullshit, unfair as fuck game. A lot of the retro courses made are just kind of lame. And a couple of the new Wii tracks are not that good either. Bikes are overpowered as fuck. There's only like 2 or 3 good characters in the game, which is just like Funky, Daisy, and like Toda. Rosalina's similarly good to Funky, but Funky's just objectively better. So there's no reason to ever use Rosalina. However, the good tracks are insane. You know, I love Grumble Volcano, Coconut Mole, you know, Mushroom Gorge, Toad's Factory. I don't know why they started with Luigi's Circuit. That track is kind of bland. But yeah, like, Mario Kart Wii, there are 2 reasons why it's so good, right? The craziness of it, which makes this stand out compared to the other Mario Kart games and keeps you coming back. It's like almost it's more of it's got like sprinkles of like a party game in that sense with how bullshit it can be, but in a fun way. You will have been robbed of a race so many times. You ride the end, you just get blued and then starred and then lightninged and then fucking megaed and then blued again somehow, even though like, and then redded and then like starred and then you get pushed by a fucking Bowser or something and take a million knockback, like. But it's also happened to everyone. It's happened to other players, and when you're playing with your friends and that happens to them, it's like the funniest thing ever. When it happens to you, you want to die, but that's like the fun of it. That's what keeps you coming back. Because there are some games that are Mario Kart games that are completely competent, like Mario Kart Super Circuit, and even DS. I like DS. But the reason why it's not here and Wii is because Wii keeps you coming back in that. So, like, it's more memorable. When you think of DS, like, yeah, you think of, like, Waluigi Pinball and stuff, but, like, other than that, what do you think of? When you think about Mario Kart Wii, you think of great tracks as well, and you think of, like, oh, remember that time where that bullshit thing happened? Remember the time where I barely won that race when I was 12th place and I got first in, like, 2 seconds because I got, like, the amazing luck? Remember when I got, you know, like, it's just, like, this amazing feeling that no other Mario Kart game... You can get similar things in theory, but Mario Kart Wii will give you them more often. Not too often, though, obviously. Otherwise, that would just be, like, unfun. But yeah, like, it just gives you it often enough to where it's, like... You know, you really... It just keeps you coming back. And the second thing is like, the mechanics and the physics and all that. Bikes feel amazing. Wheeling is really fun. It's just the physics, like, the jank, but, like, they just work perfectly for just, like... And also, I don't know if I'm allowed to count this. The CGP makes the game so much more replayable. Like nearly every time I replay the game now, it's CGP, it's custom tracks. And like some of the tracks are bad, yeah, Mushroom Peaks, but like a lot of them are good. A lot of them are good. You know? And yeah, a lot of them are built to like only be played with like Daisy and Funky and shit, but like it's fun. They're great. Like some of them, like Dragonite Island, are fantastic, and they add a million hours of replayability to a game. So yeah, while it's extremely flawed, it is one of my most important games. You know, like, there are some YouTubers who still can do it full-time today, despite it being multiple Mario Karts ago, and it being, like, on a console that obviously hasn't been supported for a long time. Like, TWD98, I used to watch him when I was younger, I used to watch him all the time. But yeah, he still makes, he does it full-time, I think he does it full-time. You know, he gets hundreds of views on Twitch, and all of his videos get, like, tens of thousands of views, I would imagine he does. But if he doesn't, it's gotta be at least part-time. Like, you can, like, it just shows how many people, like, still really like the game and enjoy it, despite, so it's not outclassed. I would argue that Mario Kart DS is outclassed in quite a lot of ways, whereas Wii is not. There are only 2 Mario Kart games with 12 players, and this is by far the most chaotic one. The battle mode is a bit lame, to be fair, but I didn't have that many friends growing up, so that wasn't a huge thing for me. But yeah, I gotta... Oh yeah, I want to give another special shout out, by the way, to New Super Mario Bros. Wii. It's not an amazing game on its own, but that's like the one I grew up with, and I 100%ed it with my mom, so I have quite a lot of sentimental value to it. Anyway, yeah, Mario Kart Wii, extremely flawed game, but just booting it up and playing it for like 2 or 3 hours every month or two is like just great, man. It's fantastic. Battle, I mean, if you're watching me from like my streams and all that, then obviously like you're gonna know what I think of this game, like mostly positives, some negatives. A lot of the worlds are designed pretty well, like all the tracks are good except for like Kelp Caves. That one kind of sucks. Although I appreciate that they made technically another theme just for Kelp. That's cool. Yeah, like there were just there's a lot of like the only major issues I have with the game is that the theater should have been a 100% unlock, and crab spatulas are absolutely fucking atrocious. And some spatulas are bullshit as fuck. Like, Kelp is a horrible level. Most people I know would only grab the first spatula, and then you get, like, a sock or something, and they just fucking dip, because, like, it was just shit. Like, it's definitely the worst level in the fucking game. Which made it hard to get, like, 75 spatulas is a fair amount to get into Chumbuck. But then when you factor that you can't get Robo-Sponge spatulas, obviously, because, you know, you need 75... So that's 98 spatulas you could get out of 75, like, that you need. Like, okay, that's good. But then you don't get, like, 7 spatulas in Kelp, and then it's like, oh, well, now I can only get 91. And then it's like, oh, well, I didn't grab all the socks in Kelp, which means that I automatically can't get all the Patrick spatulas, which means that now we're down to 90. And also, there is absolutely no fucking way that you're grabbing all the crab spatulas. You're getting, like, 3 at most. So then now we're down to, like 85 spatulas, and then there's no way you're getting all the Patrick spatulas, so now you're down to, like, 81 or something, or, like, 82. And then when we're factoring the ballroom, a lot of kids couldn't do that, now we're at 81. Spinning Towers of Power comes off as way more difficult than it actually is, so now we're at 80. Like, damn. So you actually... The problem with Collectathon... Well, the good thing about Collectathon games is that if they're lenient enough, you can usually avoid bullshit that you just don't like. But with that game, you can get away with it, but kind of only barely. And the 40 spatula requirement for Robopat's a little harsh. You know, Cruise Bubble breaks some levels, but that's, like, fine. Obviously, you know, like, what can I really say that people don't really already know my opinions on with the game? Game feels amazing, looks really good. Having, like, levels in the background of other levels is, like, so crucial to, like, having the world feel really, you know, connected, feel like an actual world that's lived in. When you're in the hub world and you see downtown in the back, or even when you go to fucking... When you're in JF and you can see Sand Mountain in the background, like, those things, they make this game feel so much more alive, you know? And, like, there are so many funny interactions with characters. Some characters are used too much, like Mrs. Puff and Larry and all that, but, like, still, like, it's great stuff. Krabs and Mermaid Man are not like their actual voice actors, which is lame as fuck. But it's not the end of the world. In fact, Mermaid Man sounds completely different in JF than he does in any other instance, and I do not know why. It's really bizarre. The robot introduction cutscenes are cool. The robots are all cool in general. The final boss is fantastic. Robopat is cool conceptually and has an amazing theme. Robosandy's cool conceptually. Yeah, I just really like a lot of levels. I have a lot of good memories as a kid, as like scaling Gulagoon Castle while I was waiting for food to be made, or like going through downtown, like trying to make it to the end of rooftops, like on a school day, or like, just all these like nice little things, and struggling with the ballroom puzzle for like an hour, and just like all these nice little memories, man. Really, it's great. And, like, trying to find, like, a fast shining grinding method as well. Or, like, I found an AFK one on Semo, and I used to, like, leave it on overnight. Just, like, a lot of little fun things, that I remember from being a kid. Obviously, the game is really good. Like, however, if you watch anybody review this game who isn't a SpongeBob fan, which I know most people are SpongeBob fans, but, like, the few times I've seen reviews of from people who aren't SpongeBob fans, they always just say the game's okay. This game has so many tiny little aspects, like all the cool Easter eggs and, like, the little movement stuff and, like, nice, so many sound effects for things. All these little things that normies just, like, don't notice and therefore think that the game is just, like, mediocre or whatever when the game is actually good. So when you're not a SpongeBob fan and you played it on like PS2 with the colors washed out and like looking terrible and compressed sound effects and all that, you just think to yourself like, you just think to yourself like, there's not a lot of, like, it's hard to bitch at the game basically. Pretty good game. I think it's worth anybody trying, even if you're not a SpongeBob fan. But yeah, you probably already knew how I felt about this game. Hat in Time. The way that I see Hat in Time is a mix of, like, Sunshine and Galaxy. I think it's better than Sunshine. Hat in Time is more of, like, a story-based thing in the missions themselves. It's more of, like, more character interactions to be had and more specific missions. One issue I have with Sunshine is that it feels like a downgrade in concept from SM64, because that let you do most objectives whenever you wanted, whereas like SMS really stripped down the path that you could go on. Hat in Time is not as restrictive as SMS in that regard, and even in the parts where it is restrictive, it makes up for it more with like more storytelling aspects. The whole game is pretty good. I mean, it's lacking a bit of polish that a game, like a AAA game like Sunshine would have, but like the movement feels good, the music is great, all the missions are fun, all the hats are fun, like Hat Kid is really, cute and charming, like just really, cute universe, and like cool, cute universes that you go to, and just the whole thing is just a great, it's an experience, because the stories in all the levels are just like so cool. And it's just a lot of funny interactions and everything. Not too much I can say that everybody else has said. It's just a great game, and I recommend it to basically anybody, really. Cuphead. It's practically a one-of-a-kind game. The animations are just so fucking unbelievably amazing. Apparently, the creators had to, like, sell their fucking house or something to pay off for the rest of the game. And it was a nightmare to animate, apparently, because it's all hand-drawn, and it's, like, 60 FPS. All the levels are, like, really good, and, like, all the music is amazing, and there's just so much love put into every little tiny little speck in that game. It's fucking impressive as hell. I've only beaten it once, but I've played through it a few times. I want to play it again eventually. It's a very frustrating game, because it's really hard. There's DLC, but I haven't played it. But yeah, like, I want to play it again one day because I beat it in like 2017 or 18. It's been too long. I gotta play it again at some point. Frustrating as fuck game. Also, it has a lot of cool abilities and stuff, but they fucked up, and there's just like the one where it makes you invisible, or like you can't get hit, like, so invisible and invincible for like a second. like a power up, like that's like that one's just so busted. You want to use that like basically every time, so they fucked up a bit with that. And also, they have like run and gun sections, but they are just not as good as the actual bosses. I mean, I respect them, but I generally try to play them as little as possible, unless I need coins for the upgrades and stuff. The Devil's a great boss, but I honestly like King Dice more. That's the thing. And you can't beat the game if you play on simple, which I think is a little mean. And the Genie is like too RNG focused. The Robot is like weirdly one of the easiest ones in the game. But yeah, the game is frustrating as fuck, but that's just what's good about it. But yeah, if I ever play the game again, I'm not going to try and perfect it or anything. I just want to beat every like level like on the regular difficulty or whatever. But yeah, I respect people who have like 100% of the game and all that. Like it's a really good game. And I will definitely play it again at some point. I just don't know when. Persona 5, I have a lot to say about Persona 5. It is one of the most important games in my life, right? Flashback to February, it was actually Valentine's Day 2022. I accidentally pirated this game. I was downloading PS3 thingies online, and I saw Persona 5, and it was like 20 gigs or something, and I was like, nah, I'm not gonna download. But it was like 1 a.m., I was really tired. I accidentally downloaded it, and because the file is just a bunch of random string of characters, like, I just forgot what it was, and I was like, what is this? I don't even remember. But I was like, alright, well, I might as well just put it on my PS3. And it said installing Persona 5, and I was like, dude, what? Like, I didn't install Persona 5, and I did install Persona 5, and I was like, well, fuck, I guess I'll boot up the game. I am the type of person who generally likes sticking to what I know. It's why I keep playing Pokemon. I'll play Pokemon. This year alone, I played, like, Heart Gold, Soul Silver, I played Fire and Leaf Green, I played Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, I played Pokemon XD, and now I'm going through, like, a Black and White 2, like, Nuzlocke at the moment. Yeah, like, I played, like, Pokepark 1 and 2 this year. I think it was, it was definitely this year. But yeah, like, I like, stick to my roots. I stick to my roots so hard. I bought Paper Mario Thousand Year Door for, like, £90. And because it's an RPG that isn't Pokemon, and I've never played another Mario RPG game before, I mean a Paper Mario game, I just took months to actually stop playing it, but I did play it and beat it eventually. I really like that game too, but it's just got too much shit wrong with it for me to put it in this list. If I made like a top 30 or something, I probably would have put it in there though. But yeah, like, the intro alone from Persona 5 hooked me, and this game is so important to me. I played it every waking moment almost, unless I had to like eat, shower, or I went out. I would wake up, go on my phone for like 5 to 10 minutes, then I would just get out of bed, turn on... No, I wouldn't even do that. I would turn on the PS... I have, like, a plug that turns on another plug from the other side of the room, so it would, like, turn my TV on my PS3, and then I'd use my I'd go to bed with my PS3 controller on my bed, and then I would start... Like, I would hold the PS button so it turns on automatically, and then it would turn on the TV automatically, so I didn't even have to get out of bed. I could just play Persona 5. I would do that every day, and at one point I did an all-nighter and just played more Persona 5, and then I was tired as fuck. We went out for a couple hours on it, and then I came home. What'd I do? I played Persona 5. I played it almost every waking moment for a while, and I even immediately after did 2 New Game Plus playthroughs and part of a third one until I just got burnt out. And to this day, I still haven't come back to it because I'm burnt out, even though it's been a year and a half since I played the game. It is one of the greatest games I've ever played, and you know what the funny thing is, right? Do you see that it says Persona 5 and not Persona 5 Royal? Persona 5 Royal increases resolution, ups the... Because the frame rate, the target frame rate is 30, but it hardly ever actually reaches that. But Royal does. So higher resolution, you know, less stuttering and stuff, like no screen tearing or less of it. faster loads, loads of quality of life things. There's like this dimension thing that you go to called the Mementos, and it's really repetitive and gets to a point of being like annoyingly boring in Persona 5. But in Royal, they add a shop to it, and like they remix the theme a little bit depending on how far down the Mementos you go. And they added like a new character that you interact with a lot, and they added like more free times. You could like do more things with like characters in your free time. They added a hook shot, like added more voice lines, and again just more like HD visuals and shit. I didn't even play that. I played it on PS3. That thing is a fucking jet engine when this game is on, and I still think it's one of the greatest games I've ever played. If I had to make this a top 10 list, I'm pretty sure Persona 5 would go in there. I don't really have much doubt that it would go in there. Like, and I felt bad for pirating it, so I bought Royal on PS4 for 40 quid, then they announced it on PC, and I got it for like 40 quid on PC, and I still haven't played it. Because I pirated this game, I spent 80 quid on it when I otherwise probably would have never played it. And all the characters are really good. Dude, this game's story is fucking insane. And the game goes on and on and on, but in a good way. And like, you're always wondering what's next, and like, oh, it's so good. The stories are fantastic, and the music is awesome, and like all, like the items you can get are interesting, and like all the confidants are cool, and like you can like if you max out confidant with a character, you get like a special perk of some kind, and some are a lot better than others. But yeah, like it's, man, and you just really get the sense of justice when you play the game, you know? Like, it feels like you're, you know... And it's just a really, like, interesting story. And, yeah, man, I don't know. Like, there's a lot of things that got scrapped in Persona 5. Like, if you watch, like, a Persona 5 beta video, loads of rooms got scrapped, and more, like, events that you would do and stuff like that. But man, the game, oh my god. Like, this is like optional fight where you can fight the wardens if you want, and it's like so intense. It's actually hard as fuck, and it takes forever. Although there is a bullshit thing to it where if you don't kill them in enough turns, they just insta-kill you, which is like super BS. This game has a lot of small problems. Like the Mementos getting boring. If you want 100% the game, it's like the most grueling thing of all time. The game hardly ever hits 30. The game is like so unfair when it comes to like how much free time you get. And there are sometimes like you can't interact with this character until you get guts level 2 or some shit. It's like, bro, fuck off. It feels like you have to micromanage everything, even on your first playthrough. It makes it a lot more stressful than it has to be. But I bet a lot of my issues got addressed in Royal. I haven't played any of the Persona game, but 5, like, yeah, it's so amazing, man. I want to play, like, the Persona 3, I think it's 3, remake that's coming out. But I think it's, like, 55 quid or something, so it's just like, bruh. But yeah, one of the greatest games I've ever played, and all the characters are great, and blah, 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 blah. Alright, Danganronpa. I'm not the type of person who likes reading a lot of text. I'm a mash A kind of guy. But this game has a million lines of text, and I really enjoy it. You get accepted to, like, this academy thing. Like, you get set, okay, so the academy is for, like, special student, like, ultimate students. So, you have, like, the ultimate whatever. It could be anything. The ultimate fucking baseball star or whatever. And you are a character who has no ultimate anything. You're the ultimate lucky student because you won a raffle to go to the academy. But yeah, basically, you have to play a game. There's, like, this bear, Monokuma, and he's making you, like, basically incentivize killing each other to get out of the academy. But then a trial is held, and then if you win the trial, then the person who did the killing gets executed. They get a punishment. And they're all, like, animated really well, and, like, they're intense, and, like, the music's awesome and stuff. And if you get it wrong, then you lose, and everyone gets executed. So yeah, the trial is... all the trials are Lepagas. And it's really... it's intense even from the beginning, and there's betrayal, and there's, like, a lot of twists and stuff, and... there's not a lot I can say without spoiling it. There's one character that I fucking despise. He's the type of guy, I've seen a bunch of Danganronpa, like, character tier lists. You're either gonna put him in, S tier, or you're gonna put him in, like, bottom tier. Also, there are 3 Danganronpa games, but the reason why, I'm putting the first one is because, it's the OG. You gotta respect the OG. And I have some gripes with 2 and 3. As much as I despise this one character from 1, 2 has an even worse one, and 3 has one that is also worse. The only thing I'm wondering is if the one from 2 is worse or the one from 3 is worse. I don't know which one I hate more, but the one from 1 is not as bad, even though I fucking despise him. And although 2 is really cool because it's set on an island, like, it's actually really interesting. I kind of like playing 2 more overall. Like, the theme is more interesting and cooler. And there's a crazy twist, right? This isn't really spoilers, because I'm not saying what actually happens or anything. But most people, in the fanbase, most people's favorite trial in all of the series is the second to last trial in the second game. And I gotta say, it might be my favorite as well. It's really good. So yeah, it's just all, like, amazing music, and, like, it's really fun trials and stuff. It's also, although one thing that's really frustrating is, you're trying to, like, keep talking to a character so you can max out their shit, so you can, like, get more skill points, so you can, like, unlock something, maybe, like, you get more bullets to, like, because you have to, like, in people's statements, you have to, like, shoot their statements, because it might be, like, some sort of contradiction or whatever, if that makes sense. It's, like, an objection thing in, like, Phoenix Wright games or whatever, like, objection, that kind of thing. But it's, like, yeah, like, counterpoint type shit. And you have, like, bullets to say, like, what piece of evidence, like, contradicts that person's statement. You can get, like, more... You can get, like, more time to, like, shoot their statements or whatever, or you can, it's, like, a bunch of, like, little things you can buy. So you want to, like, max out, like, your thingy with people, but sometimes they just fucking die before you can do that, and it's really annoying. But yeah, anyway, 1 is just, like, the OG, so, but if we're not think of it like that, then I probably prefer 2. But yeah, they're all really good. Alright, now, Ed and Eddie Misadventures. One of my least favorite games on here, but it's a big part of my childhood, and it's a more of a... I don't know if I want to call it hidden gem, but it's pretty good. I actually have gameplay of this one just to, like, flick around on. To get, like, a gist of what this game is, because it's kind of niche. You play as the Ed Boys in every level, and you're just trying to get to the end, and there's always, like, some objectives. The game looks pretty ugly, but it fits the style of the show pretty well. So Ed is, like, strength, and he can break down barriers and pick up enemies and stuff like that. Double D has, like, a slingshot, and he can work on contraptions to, like, build like, draw a bridge for the other Eds, and the other Eds can, like, lift him up as well to, like, higher spaces and all that. Eddie has a stink bomb to, like, distract enemies and stuff like that, and he has, I think he might have the fastest walking speed. It's hard to remember. The least useful of the 3 is probably Eddie, even though he's, like, the main character. But yeah, you can kind of get, like, again, the game's ugly as fuck, but it's a bit of a charm. There's also, like, jawbreakers you can get if you want, and, like, that's pretty cool. There's a fucking sick robot level. It's, like, optional. And, like, a Godzilla level that's also optional. Also, this game has, like, PowerPoint-type cutscenes like movie, but they're not as bad because they got a little bit of animation. But yeah, like, you can see... The game gets a little repetitive towards the end, and the final boss is not really, like, a proper final boss, and the 2 optional levels, like, the game is so short, it makes you wonder why aren't they, like, required. And, like, the jawbreakers eventually get too expensive, and... Yeah, but I still, obviously, I appreciate this game. I always got scared of the haunted house level as a kid. But I love like also I got scared of the robot level as a kid as well. But yeah, like one issue with the game, there's a couple issues with the game, other than, again, just being repetitive and too short, and the final boss is anticlimactic and all that. I don't know if it's in every version, but I know it's on the PS2 and GameCube version. In the Godzilla level, towards the end of the level, the game has a small but not tiny chance of crashing. I don't know what the chance is, probably like 20% or something. It just has a small chance of crashing, and no one seems to know why. The GameCube NTSC version never came out in the PAL. I mean, yeah, the GameCube version never came out in the PAL region. There is a PC version, but if you install it wrong, it literally nukes your entire drive. So, and yeah, plus all the other issues I said. But I just wanted. This is like, again, one of my least favorite ones on here, but I still really appreciate it. I'm trying to not show like the fun of. Oh yeah, here's like the robot level. It's really cool. You have to like rescue Ed, and then you could complete the rest of the level afterwards. Like, it's pretty cool. But yeah, like, I actually tried to find a jailbreaker guide online, and I can't find one, so if you ever want to 100% this game, I guess you gotta watch a 100% speedrun of the fucking game, because I can't find shit. Otherwise, but yeah, it's a good game to come back to once every few years. It's cool. Celeste, I mean, do I need to say anything? I actually haven't beat it. I got really close, though. Back in, like, 2017 or 18. I think it was 18. I gotta play it again. What can I say other than it's one of the best looking sprite games I've ever seen? The movement is just, like, basically perfect. The game is really hard, but not unfair. There's, like, I don't like puzzles in games, but Celeste doesn't really have much puzzle stuff. It's mostly just, like... Celeste is mostly just, like... You can see what you're supposed to do, and the difficulty is doing it, and that's what I appreciate. And there's just, like, a lot of little collectibles if you care about that. And, like, even, like, every level even has, like, a death count, which I think is pretty cool. I really appreciate it. Again, there's nothing I can really say about the game that you probably don't already know. Pokemon Pinball Ruby and Sapphire. I had this game growing up. Like... Oh, wait, I didn't realize I did it in an anticlimactic point. The music's good, and look at the visuals, they're all really cool. And it's just, like, really cool. Like, and you can catch Pokemon, and then, like, you can, like, put them in, like, the Evo thing. Because instead of saying... Because this says catch, so you can, like, catch a Pokemon. It'll, like, be... Depending on, like, the biome you're in. Because right now we're in, like, the volcano. So you might see Pokemon, like, Slugma or Camerupt or whatever. And then, like... So when it says catch, you might get a Pokemon like that, and then there's, like, you can hatch, like, an egg here, and then you can get a baby Pokemon, and then you can sometimes, like, eventually, it'll give you the option to, like, evolve a Pokemon, and there's, like, other, like, there's, like, those little mini bosses you can go to, like, there's one for Kecleon, and it's, like, really cool, and then there's, like, one for fucking Groudon, and Kyogre, and Rayquaza. I think there might be one for Jirachi, if I'm remembering correctly. But yeah, like, I really like this game. Like, there's nothing much I can really say about it because it's pinball, but, like, it's really good. If you like pinball stuff, like, I definitely recommend this game. It's really cool. There's a bunch of, there's, like, a lifesaver thing, and there's just a bunch of little things I'm not really going into because I don't want this video to be 9 hours long. And there's also another board that you can play on as well. I don't like this one as much, but it's still cool. There's just a lot of little things that go into this game. Shaw, GTA, but Simpsons. Not only that, but, like, all the music, all of Apu's tracks are amazing. And there are some cars that are really fun to use, like Professor Frank's car. And all, like, the hidden cars are really cool. The Halloween theme in level 7 is great. The issues with the game are, like, the models are, like, not expressive and they're kind of ugly. The missions can get repetitive. You don't get a lot out of the game if you're not a Simpsons fan. And level 7 is really repetitive. And they just repeat the same 3 maps over and over again. Which for 7 levels, more than half of them being repeats is pretty disgusting. They move around some gags, and there's different costumes and vehicles. But, like, man, that is fucking rough. Like... And in level 7, it's the most, like, aesthetically pleasing. It looks the best. And it's the coolest, it's got the best music. But, it's just... you can only explore like half the map, and it's just like, really, man, like, really. And like 4 of the 7 missions are all like this fucking same anyway, and like and also this game has a really nasty coin problem. It's fine at first, but then it gets really bad in Marge when you have to buy 2 costumes, and then in Apu you have to buy a costume and a vehicle, and then in Bar 2 you have to buy... I don't think you have to buy a costume, I think you just have to buy a vehicle, and then in level 7 you have to buy a vehicle, and it's just like, really, dude? Like, come on, bro. But, and also, Set to Kill in Bar 2 is considered to be an extremely hard, unfair mission. And, the mission in Apu where you, like... what's it called? Where you collect all the trash cans, that level is so unfair. As a kid, like, you only have, like... Even taking a fast route, you only have, like, 25 seconds left or something to... I used to run the game... And even then, I still only make it with, like, 20 seconds to spare or something, and I know, like, the relative fast route. Imagine, as a kid, playing, you know, you're not gonna play good. Like, it's just unfair, bro. But yeah, the game has a lot of problems, but acting like it's bad would be very unfair to the game, because it's actually really good. Wager races are pointless, but, like, the main races are, like, cool. Yeah, I mean, it's just a good fucking game. And also the modding scene is great. There aren't like a million mods, but there are. I played one of like where you can play as like Homer, and then you play as like Hank Hill, and you play as like Wallace and Gromit. Like, it's really cool. Yeah, there's a bunch of good Shaw mods, and the community is like great, and yeah. Game has a lot of problems, but again, it's really good. If you like Simpsons at all, then this game is like good by default. Sonic Heroes. This game is more of, like, you have to grow up with it kind of thing, I feel like. There's 4 stories, and they all play through the same levels. Team Sonic and Team Doc are, like, basically the same. Except, Team Doc has, like, harder enemies, but the level... So it arbitrarily pads out the level length when they're already too long in the first. So basically, I never play Team Doc. I do not like Team Doc. Team Rose is baby mode. The levels are like halved or even shorter sometimes, and the enemies are easier, and your Team Blast is a lot more broken. When you fill up your meter, you can do a Team Blast, and Team Sonics is just like, yeah, destroy all the enemies in the area, or just do a ton of damage, basically. Team Docs is do a ton of damage and have Chaos Control, but sometimes it locks you out of... Because sometimes doors don't open until you killed enemies, so sometimes the Chaos Control can fuck you, but Chaos Control is really good for like time bonuses and shit, and getting extra hits on enemies. Team Roses is just the same as Team Sonics, except you also get invincibility for like a dozen seconds or something, and all of your characters get a level up. When they get a level up, they do more damage, like speed, fighting, and flying characters. Level 2, it goes up to level 3. Level 2... flight characters are extremely broken. They're really, because they just instantly kill a lot of enemies in the game that don't have shield. Like any enemy that doesn't have shields just instantly fucking dies to level 2, and it's just broken as fuck. But yeah, they all get a level up. It's pretty crazy. And then Team Chaotix is theoretically the most broken, but only it's too situational. Team Chaotix they get a ring bonus which fills up the meter again. And in, like, these Eggman stages where you have to fight a bunch of robots, there are several instances where you do use Team Blast, and then your meter fills up again because you got such an insane ring bonus. And you do it again, and again, and again, and again. It's fucking awesome. So, yeah, my favorite Team Blast to, like, actually use, though, is probably Team Chaotix's, and then Team Roses, and then Team Docs. Team Sonic's is just too, like, generic. But, yeah, like... So Team Sonic and Doc are the same. Team Rose is baby mode. Plus, you have to play through a tutorial level, and it's actually horrendous. Like, imagine literally, if you try to spam through it, you literally will get stopped every couple seconds. Like, it's not an exaggeration. It just goes on for too long, and, like, the fact you can't even skip it, or just, like, tell the bitch to shut the fuck up, the chow. Like, bro... And then Team Chaotix's are, like, mission-based. Like, kill all the robots, or find 10 keys, or whatever. Team Chaotix's missions kind of blow because, like, the levels are just not... Because the movement's slippery and jank, and, like, they are... Some of the missions are really harsh. Basically, I just don't think it's worth playing Team Chaotix. I also don't think it's worth playing Team Doc. So basically, the only ones I think are worth playing, in my opinion, are Team Sonic and Team Rose. I actually prefer Team Rose. However, I would recommend playing Team Sonic first, because that's the actual proper full experience of the game. That shows you basically all the game has to offer. And then, yeah, you probably won't love the game, but then you play Team Rose, and then it's like, oh yeah, like, I appreciate this game a lot more now. Team Rose's mission length is, like, perfect. I know it makes the game too easy, but, like, here's the thing, right? Being easy is not objectively a good thing, right? A bad thing. There are some games, you will have that game where you just boot it up and just turn your brain off and just don't think about it, right? That's this game to me. Sonic Heroes is good when you're humming along to the amazing music, because this game has fantastic fucking music, and you're just watching funny colors flash on the screen and just blast through every level in like 2 minutes. That's when the game's at its best. When there's no difficulty, you turn your brain off, and you just fucking blast through it in like an hour. That's when the game is at its most fun. Does that make it an amazing game? Not really. You know, the game is padded out to fuck, and the controls are slippery. Like, I was going for A ranks. Do not go for A ranks. It makes the game miserable. There were literally, like, 2 instances, like, in a row where I was going for A rank, and I didn't get it specifically because, like, the characters literally just fell through the fucking floor during an auto-scroller section. Like, bro. But again, if you're literally just, like, playing Team Rose and just turning your brain off and you beat it in, like, an hour to an hour and a half, like, literally you just say, who gives a fuck then, you know? Like, it's just fun, man. It doesn't have to be, like, a crazy experience. It's just amazing music, and the game looks good, and you just blast through it. Anyway, Sonic Riders. I have gameplay... Jesus Christ, that's a disgusting bip. I have gameplay for this, too. This game is, like, very hard to, like, get a... The controls are very weird, basically. I think you probably only like this game if you played it as a kid, which I do, which is why I appreciate it. You got, like, this hoverboard mechanic, and you're riding on air, and you run out of air, so you gotta, like, do, like, if you boost and you run out of air, you can, like, trick off of people's, like, air to gain more, or you can, like, trick off of these. There's, like, a technique to things, like, the game just does not tell you basic techniques and shit. I only learned in 2023 that the way to grind on rails is when you're about to land on a rail, you press A, and then that's how you land on the fucking rail. Like, are you serious? And, like, the way, like, that you get, like, these like, big tricks and levels is by, like, you hold A to, like, build up, like, a thing, but you also either hold up or down depending on, like, the steepness of the ramp, and then, like... And then if you get it, then you can do, like, crazy shortcuts and stuff. I literally didn't even know that until I watched the tutorial, like, bro. The best character to play as, probably, depending on the level, it's either the flight character or the power character, but a lot of the characters have the same stats. Like, a lot of the speed characters have the same stats as other speed characters and so on. And you can level up your air thing to level 3, which maxes out your speed capacity and your air capacity. But if you fall into the void or get hit or whatever, then... You know, the issue with the game is that it's extremely short. Extremely short. Even if you don't skip the cutscenes and you lose a couple times, you will beat this game's story in, like, easily less than 2 hours. Easily, even if you're terrible at the game. So basically, this is a game that you play for the amazing music and just to blast through it. There's a secondary story with, like, they kind of remix levels. Like, they reuse these levels, but they look very, very different. I want to show you my favorite level in the game, though, Babylon Garden. The music's fucking crazy. I really like the, Babylon, I think it's called the Babylon Story. I really like the Babylon Stories version. I like it more, but it's, like, the CPUs are actually hot as fuck in that one. Basically, this game has a lot of rubber banding. But yeah, look at this shit, like, it's cool, bro. And my favorite music is, from Sand Ruins. But yeah, they repurpose the levels, so yeah, Babylon Story. So this is the same as, like, the first level, but they change it really drastically, so now this part is indoors, and it just, like, if you're gonna reuse levels, don't be like Shaw, be like this, because this feels very different. Oh yeah, here's what I meant, by the way. Here's, like, a high trick. See, look. Oh, no, fuck, never mind. Okay, I'm cringe. But yeah, like, So in the Babylon story, you play as the bad guy. Jet's a cool character. I like Jet. Although his voice is a bit annoying. This reuses a canyon level, and it looks so different for, like, half of it. And, like, I honestly prefer all the levels from, like, this story. And also, I just, like, I'm a sucker for games you can play as the bad guys. Also, yeah, this version of Sam Ruins actually goes fucking hard. I think canonically these levels are meant to be different from the hero story ones. I think because I think the game is so short. I think the part of, like, what it's supposed to be is that these characters are playing levels that you don't get to see at first, and like this is what you're doing instead of Sam Ruins or whatever the fuck. I think that's how it's supposed to be. I don't know, but yeah. Also, yeah, here's Sky Road. It's fucking crazy level, dude. I really like it. And then, like, there's, like, different sections depending on, like, what power, like, what thing you are. And then there's, like, a really hard shortcut where there's, like, it saves loads of time you want to get it. It's, like, hard as fuck. This game's just really fun to just blast through, man. Although that level's hard as fuck. Okay, and then this is, like, the final level boss thing. However, there were 2 levels, there are 2 levels that are not in the story mode. One of them you just play in time trials or versus or whatever, which is really weird. But it's a good level. And then there's one that you unlock by completing a bunch of mission modes. I've played mission modes. It's okay. It's better than nothing. But yeah, I played a bunch of mission modes, and you unlock like another level. And I unlocked it once as a kid, but I never unlocked it again, which is pretty unfortunate. But yeah, this game is short, and a level or 2 are kind of hard, and the final boss is a bit anticlimactic, but like, and having like 2 extra levels you just can't play normally is just really bizarre. But it's a good game. Like, it's really hard for people to get into, but it's a good game. Do I need to show Mario World and Mario Odyssey? Like, Mario World is just like, I think a lot of people are starting to think that Mario Wonder is, like, might be the best 2D game, but I definitely think that World is the best, like, sprite 2D game, at least. Like, I mean, what can I say that other people haven't said? I mean, the great music and visuals and level design. And then the reason why I paired it with All Stars is because All Stars is also good, so what's better than 1 good game? 2 good games. Alright, now here's 3D World and Bowser's Fury. Okay, so 3D World got too much backlash back in the day on Wii U, but I get why. This was the 3D Mario of the console when it should have been a complimentary thing. You know what I mean? But luckily, like, they wised up and pulled it to the Switch. Not only did they pull it to Switch, there's a ton of quality of life things, dude. Like, the game looks better. Like, all the characters move way faster, right? The slowest character in World is Rosalina, right? And the fastest is Toad, and the speed difference is quite big. They upped the speed in the Switch port so much that Rosalina on Switch is faster than Toad on Wii U. Sometimes that has you running into walls more often or staircases, but it's worth the trade-off. And the game autosaves now instead of having you be stuck for a few seconds. Like, the game is just really good, man. It looks amazing and never drops a frame. And the music is all great, and a lot of the levels are good. The game has a bit of a memory issue, like, struggling to remember certain levels because it just throws a bunch of shit at you. But it's still really good when you... Like, this game is a lot better to play than it is to reminisce on it. Like, it's a pretty forgettable game, but when you're playing it's great. And I like little Captain Toad little thingies. And I like, I really like... I mean, I just like everything about it, really. I like the cat suit, it's really OP. Although, it being, like, so OP is a bit weird. Final boss is cool. The Champion's Road, or whatever the fuck it's called, is cool. Yeah, it's just a good game. Although, I will say that it's still worth playing the Wii U version if you don't have it on Switch. The Wii U version, you can find in CEX for, like, literally, like, 8 quid, and the game is still... The game is phenomenal for 8 quid, dude. Anyway, Bowser's Fury, that's like, another thing. Imagine, like, another take on Mario Odyssey, but it's, like... it's like an open world thing, but it's like very small scale, but it's still fucking awesome, dude. You gotta look at some gameplay if you haven't seen it before. Like, it's just what an open world Mario. It's almost like a demo of what an open world Mario game would be like. There's not a lot to do. There's only 40 sprites. Not shine sprites. It's shines. I think they're called, like 40 shines you can get, whatever. But Bowser can turn like Mega Bowser or whatever the fuck, and then like you have to, and then there's like fireballs getting launched at you and shit. So you gotta collect like a shine for him to go away. And the music's really good and it looks really good. Although the frame rate drops really drastically whenever you're fighting Bowser. Like, but yeah, the game is really good. I recommend playing it and 100%ing it at least once. But yeah, I've 100%ed it once back when it came out. So like early 2021. But I will definitely play it again. I don't know if I'll 100% it because like there are several shines you can only get when Bowser's like turned big, and that's just like kind of cringe. Otherwise, the game is fantastic. It's basically, I think the next 3 Mario game will probably be like a big open world Mario game, because I feel like it just makes sense. You know, because they said they didn't want to make Odyssey 2, so what else are you going to do? So I feel like that's just like, you know, if even Sonic is doing it, I feel like, you know, now it's Mario's turn. So, and I think it'll launch with the console to, like, get people into it. You know how, like, you know, you had a big Zelda to come, you know, to get into the Switch. Now you have a big Mario to get into the next Nintendo console. Because it's been rumored, there's, like, very strong rumors that it's going to come out in, like, late 2024, I think. The consoles, I think, and that's, you know, considering Odyssey came out in 2017, I think it's just lined up perfectly for the next. So I think Bowser's Fury is a teaser of what's to come. So 3D World is not only just taking a really good game and just making it just that little bit better in most ways, but also just like a demo, just another few hours of a fantastic showcase of what Mario could be in future. Like, the game is so fucking good. I love it so much. Anyway, movie, I really, really do not need to talk about movie, do I? Like, I'd call the game more, like, casually, probably like a 7 out of 10, but the reason why it's here is because, you know, it's my first ever console game, is obviously because I run it, it's extremely influential to me. And it did, like, some things compared to Battle that I like. I like the upgrade system. One thing I like about movie that's underrated, the problem with, like Battle's robots are great, but one issue is that, like, if you see a fodder in Dutchman's Graveyard, how is it any harder than a fodder in, like, downtown, right? Whereas in movie, like, not only do the enemies look different, depending on what level they're in, they're also, like, actually harder, and I appreciate that. Patrick is actually a character that's worth using, and not, like, the worst fucking character of all time. There's some fucking sick tracks in this game, like BBBH and stuff. Obviously the game has horrendous padding. In my opinion, Battle is best enjoyed with SBA, and in my opinion, movie is best enjoyed with Mindy Skip. Honestly, and doing a couple extra exploits, such as, like, well, basically just doing Krieg early, and, like, I think that's basically it for the early stuff, but yeah, just do Krieg early, and then do, like, Mindy Skip, and the game it's more enjoyable that way, essentially, in my opinion. I love the extras, by the way, and the costumes as well. The costumes are such a great idea. The extras are a fantastic addition, because some of them are kind of lame, because it's just, like, cutscenes you've already seen, but some are awesome, like antenna, long antenna, mini foggers, like, funny horn sound effect, fucking, like, changing the hand, like, it's just a lot of cool little concept art. Oh my god, I'm a sucker for concept art, and it's just, like, you can unlock all that stuff, and it's so cool. I fucking love it. It's fucking sick. Yeah, I mean, again, what else can I say, bro? It's fucking really, really good. Ideas, but the game, also, you have to respect the game. How many movie license games from back then were actually good, right? The fact that this game was made alongside a movie that was in progress, so they had, like, very little material to work with. The fact that, like, the team was very small because half the team went to work on Incredibles. And again, the fact, like, and even though they stole a lot of assets from Battle, most of the sound effects are unique, and, like, they had to change a lot of stuff still. The fact that this game came out as good as it did is a fucking miracle, dude. Battle, same, because, like, it was rushed to fuck as well. But movie got rushed even harder, and the team was even smaller and you had less material to work with. Like, we know from like some beta stuff, we know that there were originally plans to be extra levels, you know, like a Shell City platforming level, like a guest platforming level, a Goofy Goober platforming level where you would have unlocked guitar. This game was going to be a lot more, basically. But again, even just the fact that it is as good as it is already is like really nice. But yeah, like, obviously, I think most people think that BFAB is, like, better casually, and I do agree, but I think movie is different enough to merit coming back to it every now and then. I think it still gets a passing grade of being good. What I consider good is, like, 7 out of 10, and this game is, like, a 7.2 out of 10. It, like, barely scrapes that good for me, but it's just enough, you know? But again, if you do Mindy skip, then it makes the game a lot better. But obviously then doing a massive glitch is a bit, you know, iffy. But yeah, that's just my opinion. I'm just saying. Left 4 Dead 2. Oh, wait, I forgot to mention. Yeah, the PS2 and GameCube version of Battles aren't great, but the PS2 and GameCube version of the movie are fucking terrible. That's another thing. A lot of people play this game on GameCube and it's so bad. Like, obviously GameCube, and you already know, 30 FPS, like, infinite load, like, just fuck transparency sometimes, like, just, you know, what else can I really say? Movie PS2, horrible sound compression, and, yeah, just really long loads, you know, what else can I say? Alright, Left 4 Dead 2. What else can I say about Left 4 Dead 2? Like, it's got all of the Left 4 Dead 1 maps in it, but in, like, Left 4 Dead 2, you know, but Left 4 Dead 2 is basically just better than 1 IMO, and it's got a bunch of new levels, and a lot of them are pretty good, and it's got, like, new special infected that I like, and just, you know, some new weapons. It's building on 1, but like Black and White 2, I mean, this is even more of a different game than Black and White 2 is. It's just, yeah, it's just good. I mean, what else can I say, man? I mean, there's a lot of RNG, there's a lot of bullshit, but, like, it's just good. I don't know. Although I will say, it's definitely way more fun to play with friends, but so are a lot of games. Also, by the way, if I had friends to play Lights, Camera, Pants with, I probably would have put it in the 25, but yeah. Anyway, yeah, I mean, again, I can't really say much about Left 4 Dead 2, so moving on. Emerald is purely a nostalgia pick. I do think it's a good game, but it has a massive HM issue. It actually has too much water, the champion fucking sucks. Lack of a physical special split, etc., but Gen 3 is home to my favorite Pokemon designs, and it did a lot for the series at the time. Abilities, natures, like, you know, IVs. You can't max out your stats anymore. And again, just so many awesome Pokemon. Flygon, Metagross, Swampert, Blaziken, Ludicolo, Ludicolo, Salamence. Like, I even like some of the underrated picks like Walrein. But the game has some big problems. Just, again, too much water in HMs and shit. And this is where I'll give my, you know, when I, like, because the title will be, like, 27 favorite games or whatever. Fire Red and Leaf Green. I might prefer Fire Red and Leaf Green. The issue with Fire Red and Leaf Green is that, like, you can't evolve Gen 1 Pokemon into the Gen 2 or 3 versions because the game just decides you can't until post-game. Making certain Pokemon like Golbat, like, and Onix, like, unusable. And there were some Pokemon you get way too late to use, like Aerodactyl and Growlithe and Coughing and all, like, the game. And also, there were way too many Team Rocket grunts with, like, fucking Rattata and shit. I know they wanted to stick to the Kanto roots, but, like, dude, why does Agatha still only have 3 ghost Pokemon and 2 of them are Gengar and 1 of them's Haunter? Like, I don't think anybody would have complained if there was a fucking Dusclops and a Sableye. Like, you could have had Gengar, Dusclops, Sableye, Banette, like, and then maybe, like, oh yeah, Misdreavus, and then, like, maybe a Haunter or whatever. Like, you could have done that, man. There's no reason to compromise the game like that. And Emerald has kind of the same. It's not as bad in Emerald, actually, but yeah. Emerald's got fantastic music, by the way, and so is Fire and Leaf Green. But Emerald, like, Ruby Sapphire and Emerald's music is so good. They go ham on the trumpets. Especially the Elite Four theme and the Champion theme is really good. But yeah, Fire and Leaf Cream's music is good too. And they got like some cool updated stuff compared to, they got like, cool little animations for like giving Pokemon potions and stuff like that. Again, the game is good. It is definitely a good game. But I gotta be in the Kanto mood because it has so many problems. One thing I've been enjoying doing recently in Pokemon is using purposely bad Pokemon, but some I will never use again, like Flareon, because the only way to get Fire Blast is to fucking spend like an hour at the fucking casino getting enough coins so you can get Fire Blast. Like, bro. If I could play a hack that just changed a few things, made the game a little harder, and then just had like Gen 2 and 3 Pokemon, and then you didn't have to like trade Pokemon. Like, if you just have like little things like that, just small things, game is like amazing. But as it currently stands, it's still a good game, but it has problems. Again, like, the evolution, like, Flareon's atrocious, like, Vaporeon you arguably get too late because you need a water type, and this is in the Dark Ages where you still need a flying type. Black and White 2 has the same problem as well. Also, the reason why I have Black 2 instead of White 2 is because I had bought Black 2 first, which I'm nostalgia for, and because Kyurem Black looks a lot cooler than Kyurem White, honestly, as well. That's why I bought it. When I was younger. Alright, Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. I do not like most of the... I like Pumpkin Hill, and the first level of Knuckles and Rouge as well, and I don't mind the Ghost Boss. But I don't like most of the levels in the treasure hunting stages. Way too big, way too annoying. Dude, I got pissed off. In the final level of Adventure 2, there's like this one, There's like this one, level where you have to like play as all the characters to like, and there's like a time limit thing. You gotta like do something before it's too late. I think this time it's hard to remember. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there is. And in the Knuckles one, you need the underwater, like the bracelet thing that lets you breathe underwater. Where do you get it? In like the third Knuckles level. But do you need it to beat the third Knuckles level? No. So how the fuck are you supposed to know that you're supposed to do that? Same with Rouge as well. Like, in Security Hole, the one that people hate because you only get, like, 5 minutes? Or whatever? I couldn't beat it at first because one of the emeralds or keys or whatever it was, like, in, like, a cage, and I couldn't break the cage because I didn't get the upgrade for Rouge because I couldn't find it originally. Like, are you fucking serious? And, like... Also, the cutscenes are jank as fuck, I think, and also have atrocious audio bouncing. I think everybody knows that. And also, the thing is with the battle version specifically is that it has an issue of, like... they changed a lot of textures and they don't look as good and stuff like that, but Battle's one I grew up with, and I liked playing, like, the multiplayer modes with my brother and my grandmother when I was younger, so that's, like, the reason why, I put Battle here and not the original. But still, the Sonic and Shadow stages are great. There's a few mech stages I like, mostly the Eggman ones. I don't fuck with the Chao Garden that much, but I really respect its presence. And I like Spee Highway, I think it's called. And again, I like some Knuckles and Rouge stages. So yeah, it's more of a nostalgia thing. It's also one of my least favorite games on this list, but I gotta respect it. I guess a special shout out to Sonic Adventure 1 as well. But that game is, like, way more jank. But it does one good thing, which is that, like, if you're only in the mood to play Sonic, you can play Sonic. If you're only in the mood for, Gamma, I think his name is, yeah, you can do that. If you're only in the mood for Tails, you can do that. Like, it's just a lot more free range. And I like the hub world, too. But Sonic Adventure 2 has, like, better music, better Sonic and Shadow stages IMO, and again, I'm a sucker for playing the Dark Story, and I appreciate the attempt of a big fucking grand story in this game. I appreciate it anyway. Anyway, now we got Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and, yeah, it's just by far the most polished Mario Kart, like, it looks the best. It sounds the best. Like... I don't really... I mean, you'll probably know, right? It's got like some of the best. It doesn't have like super extremely iconic why did I say strats? Maps like what's it called does like Wii and DS and all that, but like there's more of a consistently good roster here, and they really like the anti-gravities and the underwater shit is like really cool, and like just like the ability to like the retro courses are a lot more interesting this time around. They remixed a lot more to be like good and fun. In my opinion, it outclasses 7 in like nearly every way because it just adds on to 7 and looks better as well, and it has like a better like battle mode and stuff. And the DLC, I also put the booster course because it's not fully out yet, but the courses that are out are really good. A lot of them, not all of them, a lot of them. There's a bit of a mixed bag overall, and the first like 16 tracks or whatever came out kind of rough. But there are some new tracks that are just like, damn. There's like the rubber, like the duck one. No, I mean the bathroom one, and it's got like a rubber duck and everything. That's probably my favorite course in all of Mario Kart. I'm not even joking. It's so amazing. But yeah, it's just like the music is orchestral as well. Like it's fucking fantastic. But yeah, that's all I can really say, I suppose. I mean, you already know how good it is. Speaking of, you know how good it is, Galaxy. So it's a little more annoying to like have a cursor on the screen because like the way they did it on Switch is a little weird. It's not as good as using it on the Wii Remote, but it's worth it for HD visuals and shit. And if you like 64 and Sunshine, then obviously it's like better than having Galaxy on the Wii on its own anyway. Yeah. Galaxy has it's way too slow paced, and it boots you back to the main hub like way too often, and the hub is just kind of, it's cool conceptually, but you know, it's a bit lame to just have to keep going back to these like hub locations and shit. My dog's barking right off. Yeah, like, it's not really, like, I don't know, I mean, what can I say about it? Like, it's got, like, a bit of a mission structure, like Hand Time, although less story-based than Hand Time, but it's got, obviously, way more polish because it's a AAA game. Some people think it's the greatest Mario game of all time, and I can't really blame them. I mean, it's beautiful, and it sounds amazing because of the orchestral music and everything. And it really feels, I mean, it's space. Like, a lot of stuff doesn't make sense, but it doesn't have to because it's just fucking space. You're just doing cool shit, bro. There isn't really much else I can say. And, second to last, because I also want to talk about Stick of Truth and Fractured. Borderlands pre-sequel. Which I like. It builds off of Borderlands 2's engine. And this is my favorite Borderlands game in the series. Like, it looks really good. It's also very optimized on PC. But yeah, it looks really good. Sounds really good. I say sounds okay. I mean, the music's good. It obviously it's a pre-sequel to 2, so I can't really, you know. But the characters you play as, they all have like really cool abilities, like a skill tree, and like upgrading them, it like feels really good. There isn't much I can say without spoiling the game, but you can kind of see what's going on. Different characters really change the game pretty drastically. In case you're wondering if like the moon physics get a bit annoying occasionally, but like the way that I see it, right, 2 is too long, and 3 is like perfect length, while also looking a bit better and being a lot more optimized and having like pretty similarly fun gameplay. Like at its high, like it has the same sort of highs, but not as many lows. It's more of a consistent package, and it's like a good length. So it's kind of hard to justify my feelings on this game. Like it's hard to explain why it's so fun. But there's a lot of story and, like, you know, some backstory to, like, oh, so that's why this character is, like, you know, when you see him in a future game or whatever. Like, it's cool. It's really cool. And the game, like, I love its style, dude. It's so good. It's just, the style is amazing. My favorite ability of all the characters is Digijax. If you know, you know. But yeah, like, there's not really too much I can say. The game is just really good. I've played like half of 3, But a lot of people don't really care for I kind of like 3, but yeah, I don't like it as much as 2. And I have to respect 2 for being, like, the first one I played and being, like, the first, like, really, really good Borderlands game, because 1 kind of sucks. But I don't know, man. Any pre-sequel is just better in most ways, IMO. Anyway, so now we gotta talk about Stick of Truth and Fractured. Stick of Truth is a really easy game, and its RPG elements are very basic, but it feels more like a South Park game than Fractured. Like, there's more of a focus. Like, Fractured has an even, like, bigger scale story, but it's just, like, it feels less South Park with how serious it takes it, because modern South Park takes itself a little more seriously than old South Park, and I feel like that's reflected with Fractured compared to, like, Stick of Truth. Like, Stick of Truth, you play for the experience, basically. You play it because it's, like, the most South Park-like thing. Like, of all the games where it's like, oh, it's like I'm in the actual universe of the show, or whatever, right? Stick of Truth does it the best out of any game I've ever played, and probably of all time, like, I can't imagine a game that sucks you in the universe more than Stick of Truth. Fractured is a lot more of, like, an actual video game. It's way more strategic, and it has, like, a crafting system and, like, way more, like, ways you can upgrade your stats and stuff. But I feel like it loses a bit of itself in that sense. Like, it upgrades a lot of things. Like, a lot of HUD elements look better and all that, but, like, then it loses a bit of its charm. I don't like crafting stuff. I can't be fucking bothered. And again, like, the fighting, the actual battles are way more strategic, but even the easy and quick ones, relative quick ones, go on for fucking forever. They go on for fucking forever. And, like, it's just like, bro. Like, it's really unnecessary. Like, you know, when you try to grind for XP, like, it's not even worth it with, like, the easy ones, because it just takes so long still. I say one. Stick of Truth has a really annoying problem, by the way, where, like, if you don't know things ahead of time, you can softlock yourself out of completing the game. Fractured has, like, even more collectibles, but I just can't be fucked. Also, you can't go to Canada in Fractured, and all the sewers, which sucks. But, again, 2... I keep saying 2. Stick of Truth is just, like, a more of a turn your brain off and appreciate the game type beat. But Fractured is a lot more of, like, actually get invested into the game type of game. So, it's hard to say which one is, like, actually better. I think a lot of people probably preferred Fractured. I would have to probably replay them, like, knowing what I know now. Fractured is definitely a better game, but Stick of Truth is a better experience. And you can turn your brain off, which I appreciate. Having some games you can turn your brain off is nice. So yeah, I think that's basically it. Yeah, this was shorter than I thought it was gonna be. There's probably a few games I'm forgetting about, but these are, like, the main ones, I guess. I don't know. So thank you for watching, and bye.